Good morning, friends. It's Kathy LaMunyon here. I feel very strongly this morning. I've got a word just stirring in my heart that I want to share with you. I really believe that it's going to encourage you today and build you up. I want it to stir you up and challenge you a bit as well. And it really has me. So I want to share it with you now. So I am outside this morning on our property. Most of you know that in June of last year, which will be 2019, a really bad storm came through the North Augusta area, and our property was sustained a lot of damage. We live on 2 acres of land, and we have a lot or had a lot of trees, and basically our woods just got tipped over. The Lord is so merciful and gracious, and our home and vehicles were spared. Many people were not blessed enough to say that, and so we're very blessed and very thankful. But because our woods got tipped over, all our trees got tipped over. I'm talking about massive trees that they were just completely snapped in half and stacked on top of each other and uprooted. And I know y'all probably heard me talk about this many times, but we are coming up on the 1-year mark soon, and so I'm just very reflective a lot at this time. Probably the most difficult season physically for us, Herschel and I, to go through. Like, we worked morning, noon, and night for a very long time on the cleanup efforts and stuff, and we still have a long way to go. We've got so much left still to do, and so that's hard. And so the thing I'm thinking about with this video, the reason I want to share this with you is I want us to focus for a minute on the faithfulness of God. You know, the Lord is faithful. He's faithful to His promises. He's faithful to His word. No word that goes forth from Him ever returns void. And so if we will follow His ways and obey His instructions, such beautiful things come to us. And I know that He's faithful to give beauty for ashes, and we are definitely have encountered His grace and are experiencing that. So what I'm doing, I do this a lot. Herschel fixed some of our trees. We probably lost about 85%, but some of our trees he fixed for me to be able to have a seat outside on. And so I'm actually sitting on a tree stump while I'm talking to you. I have 3 that are down here on the off the side of the hill that he sawed them off real level for me, and I sit on them and talk to the Lord. I might have even talked to you on here. Sometimes I come out here when I talk to somebody on the phone, pray with people on the phone. I sit out here, so I might have talked to you on this very stump. But while I am sitting here praying and talking to the Lord, reflecting on some things, I have had this revelation that has come to me that's really kind of been stirring in my heart already for a few days. And it's about what it is that we set our hands to and what happens as a result of setting our hands to things that God wants us to have our hands on versus things that we feel the need to have our hands on. And how the enemy wants to deceive us and trick us into putting our hands to the wrong plow, so to speak, which would have us yoked to the wrong thing. A yoke, for those of you who don't know, is, if you think about the oxen who are, they will be yoked together and they are put in front of a plow to pull a plow. Well, if you're unequally yoked and you're yoked to an oxen that is stronger than you or more stubborn than you or faster than you or any of those things, then getting the task done is going to be hard. It's going to be burdensome. It's going to be heavy. It's going to be miserable, if you will. But if you're yoked to the right thing, then it will be easy. And we know that the scriptures Jesus tells us to take his yoke upon us, for his yoke is easy and his burden is light. So if we're yoked to that, then our burden will be easy and our burden will be light. And so I'm going to show you a couple things, and I pray that the Lord is going to help your eyes to see the same things that my eyes have seen this morning. The sun is starting to peep through the clouds, and so that's good. It was out earlier, that's why I have sunglasses on. But right now, there's one tree that is right in front of me that is bent over, and you know, in the natural, it is going to die, and we are going to lose it also. My faith, I've been faithing the facts of this tree for a long time now, and I'm just refusing to let go of that. So I've held on to it, and I call this my rainbow tree. You can see it here. There he is. That's my rainbow tree. And I sit out here and I look at my rainbow tree, and he's all bent over, bless him. But he's producing leaves. He's still alive, and we hear some popping and snapping and crackling out here from time to time. But we know that right now he's still alive. And last year when they were, you know, cleaning up, we were cleaning up and cutting up and getting rid of all the trees and everything. When it came time to cut that one, I just simply said, no, that one's not going. No, I'm not ready. And of course, tears rolling down my face. I said, no, you're not getting rid of that tree. We're keeping that one. Why? It's gonna die. I'm like, well, it's not dying today. And so I call that my rainbow tree. And I sit and I think about it, and I reflect on the faithfulness of God. And I think about the rainbow, and I think about how God's promises are yes and amen, and he's faithful forever, forever, forever. So the other thing that I oftentimes look at when I'm down here would be this. This is much of our mess that is still here and still to be dealt with. I don't know how much you can see. So if you look this way, you can see that's our home up there behind me, and I'm down on the hill. There's my stump that I was just sitting on. Oops, make that go away. There's my little stump I was just sitting on a second ago. And then I've got another one right over here, as you can see. But anyway, this mess that's down here is just, and this is deep. This is piled up very deep. And then of course on the other side, and those two very large trees, I know you can't tell, but they are leaning, they're leaning so much. They're on the brink of falling. And we've thought surely by now they would have fallen. But anyways, this is just, and I come down here and I see this, and I just, if I were to go down on the bottom and look up and let you see the up part of that, you would not believe, because it is way taller than I am, and it is way bigger than I am, and many of those trees are way bigger around than my waist. They're huge like this, and they're just piled up down there. So now I'm going to walk us up the hill to the other thing that I want to show you in this video. And so this is the thing that I want you to think about. If I set my hands to cleaning up that mess back there, and I put my hands to that, and the Lord is saying no. So what circumstance in your life today is it that you want to put your hands to, that you want to set your hands to, and you want to fix it? You want to clean it up. You want to change it. You want to control it. What circumstance in your life is that? Because you know what it is. I don't know what it is, but you know what it is. It might be a situation with a sibling or a parent. It might be a situation with a spouse or a child. It might be a situation with a co-worker or an employer or something. What situation is it that you want to put your hands to it, and you want to plow through it, and you want to change it and fix it and control it and everything? Well, the Lord has taught me that when I put my hands to the plow that He has set before me, when I get my hands off of that down there, and I yoke, which that I'm telling you right now, that's a burden. It is heavy. It is. He says, no, not now, not now. Now is the time I want you to set your hands to a different plow. And so you know what different plow it is that God is calling you to set your hands to. And I don't know what it is, but you know what it is. And when you do that, my friend, I want you to know that it will be worth what the effort is that you put into it. It will be a yoke that it will bear fruit. It will multiply. It will not be heavy. It will be easy, and it will give you delight, and it will give you pleasure. And so the Lord is saying, take your hands off of that and put your hands on the other thing. And this is the thing that we have put our hands to in this season instead. There it is right there, our little garden. You may not be able to see a whole lot, but we have flowers coming up here in the front, which is beautiful. And all of this that you see used to be trees. Trees. But over in there, we got all kind of stuff growing. And you can't see a lot of it now. And we've still got, fencing issues that we're trying to clean up and everything. But never mind that. But that is the thing that is so exciting, is there is life coming up. There is beauty from the ashes. This used to be trees upon trees upon trees piled upon on top of each other. This used to be all kinds of stuff, just the land just torn up. But the Lord is faithful, and He is redeeming every bit of that, and He is bringing us beauty where there were ashes there, and even where there still are stumps that were grinded, yeah, that word, up there and everything. There is still much of that, and much of the land that needs to be tilled up and everything. It's a work in progress, but there's things coming up. There's great things coming up, and it's so exciting and it's rewarding. And so from my windows, the windows of my home, when I look out and I see all of that tipped over, broken up, piled up, and every day going back and forth through the woods, across the creek to my mom's house where I take care of her, seeing all of that, and I want to fix it and change it and control it. I want to clean it up. And the Lord is saying, no, not now. Not in this season. And so what is it that you have set your hand to today that is, the Lord is saying, no, not now. And the enemy wants you to think, well, I got to get all that cleaned up before I can do this. I got to get this area of my life cleaned up. Well, Lord, I can't do that for you right now because this area of my life's not cleaned up. I got a mess over here, and the devil's saying, yeah, well, you aren't going to be able to do that over there till you get this over here cleaned up. You know what I'm talking about. And that thing that, the enemy wants you to believe that lie. But the Lord is faithful, and He will reward you when you put your hands, when you yoke yourselves up with Jesus and you put your hands to the plow that He has for you. You keep your eyes focused on that, and you're not continually looking over your shoulder. Well, is that still a mess? Well, did you fix that yet? Well, is that done yet? Well, No, my friend. You set your hands to this, and the Lord, something will be happening down there. So you work on the upper crop and let God worry about the lower crop. You keep your hands to the thing that He's called you to. Even though it doesn't matter what it looks like, seems like, feels like down there. You let God take care of that, and He will. He is so incredibly faithful. He will reward you. He will redeem those things. He is faithful in Him. Nothing goes to waste. He redeems it all. And so I want you to be encouraged in that today, and to know that something's happening in the other field while you're focused on the one that He has set before you. And you're going to feel so much better, even though it's going to seem like it's the wrong thing. It's going to seem like it's the wrong season. It seemed like it's the wrong time. How could I possibly do that right now when I got all this stuff going on? I got to get this cleaned up, and I got to do this, and I got to do this first. No. You do the thing that God has called you to do in this season, in the here and now, and let Him take care of the other part. So I pray that this has blessed you today. I pray that you have had an understanding, that your heart has had an understanding, and that you've been able to relate to it, because I know the Lord told me to share it with you. And I pray that it has encouraged you and to step out of that place and to do that thing that you're supposed to be doing. I pray that this is giving you the courage, that it's challenging you and giving you the courage and spurring you along to do that thing. So at Bodybuilder Ministry, I'm on a journey with Jesus, okay? It's all about faith, identity, and truth here, okay? Developing my faith in God, which we all need to be doing, okay? Embracing my identity in Christ, because otherwise the enemy is trying to tell me who I am, and I'm not letting him do that any longer. And pursuing the truth, knowing the truth, flipping all the lies in my life, finding the truth. I'm in hot pursuit of the truth. I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth. His name is Jesus, and he is the one that makes me free, and he makes you free too. So if you would love to join me, I would so love to have you join me on this journey at Bodybuilder Ministry, where we're getting fit for life. We are getting faith, identity, and truth for life, this life that God's called us to live, and we're doing it together. We're growing in him so that we can go and do what it is he's called us to do. So I want to invite you, hit the bell, subscribe to the YouTube channel, Kathy LaMunyon, connect with me on the other platforms at Bodybuilder Ministry or Kathy LaMunyon, but hit the bell so that you can subscribe to the channel, and every time I get a new video up or whatever, you can check the get notifications, and it will tell you that as well and everything. So be encouraged today, my friends. You are so immeasurably loved. Until next time, see you soon. Bye.